sounds that these objects make, so I thought that it would be a perfect little ASMR video. Hopefully you are able to get some tinglies and relax a little bit, just with me like talking about and playing with some of the items. So let's get started. First, I'm going to show and talk about, actually no, scratch that. First, I'm going to show our colors. So basically I have 10 bridesmaids, so what we did is we picked 5 colors and then we have 2 people wearing each color. So we wanted it to be like mismatchy fall kind of vibes. If I were to describe the theme, we definitely wanted a little bit of a fall vibe, but with it still being September in Colorado, it's still like hot, so it's kind of interesting. It's not like full summer, but it's not full fall, it's kind of in the middle. But we really like warm colors, and we landed on these 5 colors. So, I am well aware that they don't match, and that's kind of the point. We're hoping that when everything comes together, it'll all look really pretty and good together, but our inspiration was definitely some pictures from like Pinterest or even Instagram where the bridesmaids are mismatched, but it still like looks pretty together. I feel like that's very like in right now. A lot of people are doing that. So we have the color Rust, which I think is really pretty. I think if we had to pick one color, we would have picked this one because it's kind of like, it's a little orangey, but it's not too orange, but it's not too red. I think it's just like a good medium. So this is Rust. And then we had Cedar Rose. This was definitely a late addition because we wanted a lighter color to kind of break up all of the darker colors. So we were in between this and like a tan color, but we felt like the tan would have kind of been like out of left field, whereas this still has some like pinky kind of hues to it, so it still felt like it looked good with the other colors. So this is Cedar Rose. And then we have Paprika. Keep your opinions to yourself if you don't like paprika. This is definitely the most controversial color. Some people hate it, and I totally get it. I get it. It's orange. I like orange though, and I think it's pretty, so that's all that matters. But yeah, this is definitely like the color that I know some people hate, but it's like, it's not your wedding, and why do you care? Like, keep it to yourself. But at least I'm self-aware to know that people hate this color. But again, like, I genuinely think it's really pretty, especially when it's with all the other colors, and then you'll see when I show the flowers, I feel like it'll work because of the flowers. So we'll come back to this. This is Paprika. And then this is My Tie. This was also a risky choice because it's definitely kind of giving like coral vibes, which we weren't necessarily going for, but again, we wanted some lighter colors to break up the darker colors, and we felt like this kind of played well with the other colors, so we ended up picking it. see the difference. So they're very, very similar, but like I said before, some of our inspiration photos from Pinterest kind of was like this, where it was like everyone was in the same like family of color, but they weren't exactly matching, and we liked how that looked. So let's see. I hope this sounds good. So we have rust, we have terracotta, we have, let's see, paprika. So I feel like those are the dark colors. And then we have Mai Tai. So then these are definitely more like orangey, and these are more red, I guess. And then we have cedar rose. So I hope you can see the vision. This is all of them together. One of my absolute favorite triggers is fabric scratching and like fabric sounds. I think that it just is very soothing. See, now there's little fabric pieces on the mic, but that's okay. So yeah, those are the colors. So I think it makes sense now to show you the flowers, because hopefully then you can see how everything like comes together. Okay. Also, love that sound as well. Okay, so you might ask, how do we already have the flowers if the wedding is a couple weeks away? And that's because we are doing dried flowers. So this is one of the bouquets I just grabbed as an example. We ordered dried flowers through an online website. Oh, this one's broken. And as you can see, there are a lot of colors that either match or just like play really nicely with the bridesmaid dress colors. So I felt like, or we felt like, 'cause me and my fiance like made all these decisions together, but we felt like it worked because the bouquets like kind of pull on the different bridesmaids dress colors. So, and then you can see this one is even bigger. And I also like how there's like dried baby's breath in the bouquets as well. And all the cream colors, I feel like, kind of breaks up like all the oranges. So I'm thinking I might use this one as my just do, and that's fine. There are weddings that I see or that I go to where I think the color scheme is ugly, but that, or not even ugly, but it's like, oh, I wouldn't do that, but that's the point. It's not your wedding, so like, who cares? I feel like planning a wedding and having a wedding has made me realize like all that goes into it, and it's made me realize that like you should never be like judging or shit talking someone else's wedding, because the whole point is that it's for them. Like, it's what they like, it's their favorite colors, it's their favorite songs, it's their favorite food or whatever, and it's not about you. Like, as a guest, you're going to celebrate those people. Like, that's the point, is to celebrate them and their love and them as a couple. So you would hope that they would make choices that represent them, and you would hope that if you love those people, you would enjoy their choices, just because like it's a reflection of them, if that makes sense. So I'm like, I don't know, I just don't care if other people don't like it, because we like it and we think it's pretty. But here it is together. It's kind of hard to get like all of this in the camera frame, but as you can tell, there's like the dark rust and like terracotta color that comes through, but then there's also the paprika, the more orangey one. But then even like, where is it? There's these flowers that have like this darker stem that I feel like pull like this color and this one. So yeah, I feel like when it all comes together, hopefully it looks good and it looks pretty. I did have like a little bit of a panic moment, not like full panic, but I had a little bit of like a moment a couple weeks ago, because basically like I can tell that people, even like people in our wedding, I can tell like don't like this color, the paprika color, because you can just tell by the way they'll like talk about it or like mention it, and that is like whatever. But then my future sister-in-law, she got this one because we like assigned everyone what color they had, because we like put it in a specific order, and she got her dress in my dye, and I kind of felt like the way she was talking about it, she wasn't like the biggest fan of it, and I was like, oh no. And me and her were FaceTiming, and she mentioned that it was like pretty bright, and I was like, oh no, I don't want like a bright coral dress next to a bright orange dress, and then next to these dresses. Like, I got a little bit worried that maybe it's gonna look bad when they're all together. But then I like talked about it with my fiance and my sister, and they were like, it's gonna be fine. And my fiance was like, even if it looks bad at this point, like, who cares? And I was like, you're so right. Like, I think it will look pretty, but even if it doesn't, like 95% of weddings you look back on and you're like cringing. Like, weddings very rarely are actually timeless. I feel like most of the time, whether it's the colors or the wedding dress or the men's suits, like, there's normally parts of weddings that are pretty trendy that end up going out of style, and then you end up looking back later and like kind of laughing. So I'm like, you know what? That's just the rite of passage. That's just like part of having a wedding, is that like some stuff is gonna go out of style, and like, who cares? So, oh, but I had a little like worried moment where I was like, ooh, it might look like shit, but then now I'm kind of over it, because I actually do think it will look good, and I think it'll achieve our original vision, which was that we wanted it to be mismatched. Like, in my ideal world, I actually would have done what some people do, which is like, you create a color palette and then you tell everyone to find their own dress, and it just just has to fit somewhere in that color palette. I love how that ends up looking because I just don't like the look where everyone's perfectly matching. Again, just a personal preference, but my bridesmaids would have hated if I would have done that because they are just not the type of people that like they're not super into fashion. They're not like super like into buying dresses. Like they just would have hated that, and because it's like it's mostly cousins and then like my sister-in-law, my and then a couple sister-in-laws, so it's all family, and I am close with them and love them dearly, but that would have been like their worst nightmare if I was like, yeah, find a dress that fits within this aesthetic. So I was like, okay, I can't do that. They would rather me tell them what to get. So that's why we used a Zazie or a Zazie or whatever, I don't know, because there's just like so many different styles, but then we were able to pick the colors and just tell each person like which color they are, and then we let them choose their own style. So the hope is and was that it would kind of feel mismatchy because people have like different style dresses and different colors, but at the end of the day they're all like similar colors that look good together. I love how so far this has been 20 minutes of me basically trying to convince you and myself that I like our colors. No, I really do. I'm kind of just blabbing and rambling about it because obviously we've been talking and thinking about this a lot for the past year, but I'm not feeling any regret now. Like now I think I did like a full circle. Like I was kind of like, ooh, I kind of regret our colors a little bit, and I was getting worried, and now I'm back to where I'm like, ooh, no, I actually think they're pretty and I think it'll end up looking good. One more view of the colors and then the bouquet. Also, if you didn't already know this about me, I love fall and Halloween, and it's my favorite time of the year. My birthday is in the fall. I've always loved fall. I've always loved Halloween. I am totally like a spooky gal. I just love all of that. Favorite time of year, so that's why we chose September to get married, is because we love the fall. Especially I love the fall. And also we thought it would be a good time in Colorado because it's like any later than September and you run the risk of it snowing. So we couldn't do October because it would be too risky with the snow, but then it's still also like kind of warm. And September's also really pretty in Colorado because was just, we were like, okay, well, we need ties and pocket squares, and how are we gonna make them match exactly? Because we didn't want to use this website for the ties and the pocket squares, because I think they do sell them, but I don't remember why we didn't want to use it. So this is the color of the groomsmen's ties and pocket squares. So this still looks pretty with the bouquets. However, it doesn't match any of these. But we're just gonna go with it, okay? Again, I think it'll be okay, and I think that because none of the women match, I think it'll be fine, because it'll just be like another little, maybe it'll just look like we all are just part of this general fall rusty orangey palette. I'm hoping, I hope it looks good. This also gave me a little moment of like, I just hope it doesn't look like really bad, that like nothing matches. But I mean, it still like looks pretty. I don't know, y'all, this shit is hard work. Like, I fucking respect wedding planners and people who work in this industry, because it is not easy. There's a lot to do and a lot to think about. And then, especially like if you do care a lot about aesthetics and look and like theme and vibe, this shit is a lot of work. But we just fall under the more like, we don't care as much about the aesthetics, and we more just like care about the vibe, like the energy in the room, and we just want it to be a really good, fun, loving night and day. So we're like a little bit less concerned about the optics, but a lot of people do care a lot about the optics, and I get it, it's expensive, and a lot of people just have like a very specific vision for what they want. So for some people, this would be like a disaster that these aren't gonna match any of these. But again, we're just choosing to go with it. I am very grateful, because I feel like very early on in this wedding planning process, me and my fiance were very like on the same page about what we cared about and what we wanted for the day. And I feel like we were able to agree that it didn't care as neither of us cared as much about like this shit, like the colors and the aesthetic and the decor and the flowers and like making it a Pinterest wedding. The reality is that it was two full-time working people on a strict budget trying to have a wedding with 160 people, so it's already expensive. So we just made the decision very early on that like we were just gonna be pretty minimalistic about stuff, just go with the flow, and at the end of the day, what we care about most is that it's fun and that it's full of love, and that we get married surrounded by our friends and family. So we're very much more in the camp of like, we're just so excited to like be around everyone and have everyone there and like get to be married and like look into each other's eyes and like dance with everyone and just have it be like a fun time. That is our like vision for the night and the day. So with that being said, like hopefully, even if it'll all work out is my point. So then we have some other pieces of decor. our centerpieces, we are trying to keep them pretty minimal. So we got these like wooden rounds, but they're in a box, so I wasn't gonna get them out, but we got wooden rounds, so we're gonna like put that down, and then we're gonna have these jars with some of these dried flowers because we ordered extra. So we'll just take out like a couple sprigs from a bouquet and like put them in here. And then in addition to these, then we have just clear vases like this, but they're like way taller. So we'll have the taller ones, and I think in those we're just gonna put like baby's breath because we ordered some baby's breath really cheap online. So it'll be the wooden round, a tall clear vase with baby's breath, and then these little ones with some dried flowers, and then we also have these little tea candles. So these will have little candles in them. I just didn't want to get the candles out because they're in a box. And then the venue will go around before everything starts and light all of the candles. So we'll have these. They're kind of like amber-ish colored, like dark. This one is like a dark, like amber, browny, orangey kind of color. Same with this. And then, like I said, the other vase, and then some like dried flowers, dried baby's breath in there. And then I'm trying to think. I think that's it for the centerpieces. Yeah, I think that's it. But then we will have at each table these table numbers. They have this little bottom part, and then you just like, okay, well, they're supposed to go in. Oh, great. Oh, there. Okay. So then they just pop into these little wood pieces underneath, and then they just stand. So, as you can see, like very warm, earthy, browny, orangey tones pretty much all around. And then also the cream from the baby's breath and like, or the dried baby's breath, because there's that cream baby's breath in here. And then there's also other cream colored flowers in this bouquet, and in the bouquet is like the little puffs, and then there's also those little dried sprigs up there. So and then we're buying more dried baby's breath, so I think that will help break it up so that it's not like all orange. Like it'll also be kind of like creams and whites too. But what's interesting is that we realized we literally have no green anywhere, which honestly sign that my fiance designed, and then we got printed through Vistaprint. And basically the font on those signs is kind of like this darker, like rust color, but it's honestly even darker than this, so again, it doesn't really match, but it does, like it's in the same family of this color, but a little darker. And then the backgrounds are like an ivory, like cream color with that color text, and then he was able to Photoshop these really pretty like muted mountains, kind of like along the bottom, like an illustration of mountains. But those are like, they're kind of like these three colors, like a mixture of these three colors, but it's very muted. They're like kind of like pinky orangey, like I don't know, kind of hard to explain. So the signs I feel like will look good with all these colors because it's like some of the same colors. And then we have individual place cards with everyone's name and what they ordered because our venue required that. So, and those match the welcome sign and the seating chart, so those will be like on all the spots. And then for napkins and tablecloth, we chose just an ivory colored tablecloth so that it would be like neutral. And then for napkins, we decided this a long time ago. We decided to just do like a champagne colored napkin because we felt like if we did like rust or burnt orange, that it would be too much. Because again, like these are our flowers, they're gonna be on the tables, and also the chairs are black, so we didn't want it to be like looking too much like Halloween if like the napkins were orange and all of this was orange and then everything else was black. But I guess the tablecloth is an ivory color, but yeah, so hopefully that looks okay. But it's like a very neutral, like champagne color for the napkins. And then we're also just gonna like put these tea candles like around the venue, so there will be like candles everywhere. And then we bought extra of these, so we'll also be able to like place those around with like little dried flowers, like if there's bare spots. But other than that, we didn't get like any flower arch or any like major big decorations. We just again like tried to keep it pretty minimal. You'd be shocked at how quickly everything adds up. Like the wedding industry is so expensive. Even just like to get string lights, it would have been like $1,000, and we were like, it's just not worth it to us for like 4 hours to have string lights up to pay $1,000. So there was like extra decor that we opted out of because it cost more, but I think it'll look good. I think it'll be like, hopefully it's a reflection of us. Like hopefully more of the emphasis is on us and like the speeches and the dancing and the memories and everyone like talking and hanging out and like mingling. And yeah, that's what we're hoping for. So I will definitely do a video after the wedding with an update of like how it went. Maybe I can like insert some photos into the video to like show some pictures of how stuff ended up looking, but hopefully it ends up looking good. And more importantly, hopefully it ends up being a beautiful night full of fun and love. Thank you so much, as always, for watching my video and hanging out with me. I hope that this was able